Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 presented by Steaks. We are previewing Alabama's game with Austin Peay this weekend. Blake, Alabama, good win on the road for the Crimson Tide. Brian Branch deflects a pass in the last seconds of the game as Alabama holds on to beat Ole Miss. Alabama maybe not playing for a national title, but the Crimson Tide have had a nice season at 8-2, and now they get a 7-3 Austin Peay team in Alabama's lone matchup with an FCS team this year.
Yep, certainly no line yet as we're recording this. And again, we do preview every SEC game. So this is one that's on our list. And now we look at it for the Tide, like you said, winning that game against Ole Miss, a huge win just for, I think, the psyche of this Alabama team. Just given, again, they've lost two tough games this year, but now get an opportunity to come back. Like you said, their game here against the Governors from Austin Peay, who are 7-3, but if you compare that, I think ESPN matchup predictor right now gives Alabama a 99.6% chance to win this game. So, Chris, you're saying there's a chance here, 0.4 in the favor of the Governors.
Well, let me just tell you this. If that 0.4 is the side that happens, we will be doing a live stream at the conclusion of this game. I can
Everyone
promise you
will be
that.
doing a live stream. So
yes. Austin Peay 7-3 has played one game against an FBS team. We're going to do this one a little differently than we do most of our previews. And let's just talk about Austin Peay for a minute or two. And then we'll talk about what is at stake with Alabama. Again, the Governors' opening game of the season lost 27-38 to a pretty respectable Western Kentucky team. Since then, it is a bunch of FCS games, of which the Governors have won the last two to, again, go 7-3. Statistically, let's look at the Govs and what they do. Austin Peay is scoring 35.1 a game, giving up 22.4. It is rushing for 201 yards a game, 203, giving up 110 on the ground. Passing for 248, giving up 189. It is gaining 450 yards of total offense, giving up 299. Kind of a tempo or slower tempo game for the Governors, I guess, or fewer plays, I guess. Whatever I'm trying to say, averaging 5.9 per play, giving up only 4.5, which is a really good number. But hey, look, it's Alabama.
yeah, I mean, look, again, like you said, it's hard to know what to expect against an Alabama, right? Because it is Alabama, and it's a completely different dynamic than you've seen all season. Even if, like we said, there are some guys who have certainly made some big plays this year. I think for this Austin Peay team, in terms of offensively what they can do. I think someone like Dre McCray, wide receiver, he's been someone that's put up some numbers. I think he's had. I want to say he's had probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games this season of 90 or more receiving yards. He's got 9 touchdowns on the year in that regard. So again, someone who clearly can make some big plays. He's got a 72-yarder, 62-yarder. So again, these are the kind of things. If we're previewing this game because we need to preview this game, and we're trying to give you every possible angle we can. But those are the kind of things you have to do if you're even going to be in a position to be competitive in these kind of games. Is you've got to get your playmakers involved, and I think that's clearly for Austin Peay, it's going to be a challenge just because we know what Alabama defensively can do, and Nick Saban's team. People can say it's not the Alabama defense of old, but this is a tough matchup for an Austin Peay team. I think that just hasn't seen anything like this season.
Predict sports better than the crowd for a chance to win NFTs. With Stakes, players can cement their sports predictions against friends, other fans, and influencers forever. Don't let your sports genius go overlooked. Join Stakes and have the best predictions captured in the moment. Go to playwithstakes.com/14. Use the invite code Southeastern14. Get a double welcome bonus. Alabama's got a game with Auburn next week. I think what you're going to want to see if you're the Tide is getting snaps for somebody not named Bryce Young. You saw Jahmyr Gibbs off the field a lot in the second half last week. I just think this is a game where Alabama will try to make sure, well, Nick Saban doesn't really play that way, but in terms of trying to be precautious. That's even a word at preventing injuries. This is just not one of our better efforts tonight. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I don't think you'll see a lot of Alabama starters often. Alabama's got a chance to get some highly regarded players some reps. Austin Peay is not a pushover for an FCS team, but I just can't see this being interesting at any
No,
point
it's
in the
going to be
second half.
tough. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. Like we said, it's you cannot replicate what you're going to see from an Alabama. When you look up and down Austin Peay's schedule, they just have not seen that this season, right? I mean, it's just there's nothing there that I think you're going to be able to kind of replicate what you're going to see from an Alabama. And I just, again, that's always the challenge in these kind of games, right? For if you're a team like this that is, playing this kind of game at this point in the season, it's just you got a lot of tape on Alabama, but the tape just is not going to kind of tell you everything you need to have to be successful in these. So again, it's going to take really getting your playmakers involved, trying to catch Alabama just walking through this game, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I think that was such a big boost of momentum for this Alabama team winning that game at Ole Miss. And look, they still have something to play for. Let's not forget about that. Like they're not going to be in the SEC championship, Chris, but like it is still. Saban said, like it is like you play for Alabama, right? Like it's one of those things where like they want to finish strong here, and I think this is still kind of a setup where they should certainly win this game handily. So
Okay, well, just for comparison's sake, so you know what Alabama's up against. Austin Peay 158 in the Sagrins. The closest two teams in the FBS, and the Sagrin does FBS and FCS combined. Nevada, which is 2-8, 151, and behind the Governors, the closest FBS team would be New Mexico, which is 2-8, and right behind Hawaii. So if Austin Peay were an FBS team, it's going to be one of the worst 10 in the country. Sagarin's got this as a 45-point game on a neutral field, add in 3 for the home field. So Alabama would be 48-point favorites if Jeff Sagarin were making lines, and that's about all I got.
yeah, that's a big number. So Tide should take care of business, and as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more of our preview videos for every SEC football game this season, even the ones that may have 48-point spreads, right, Chris?
If you watch this one all the way to the end, then God bless you. And if you watch this all the way to the end and you haven't hit the subscribe button, what are you doing? All right, he's Blake Lovell. I'm Chris Lee. Thank you to Stakes. We'll see you again soon with another SEC football preview video.